Ooh, what's happening, man? Making some chicken parm right now. Uh, sorry. So, man, I had a couple thoughts, and I just wanted to share them. This is not even the little bit of planned that I even usually do for a video. So, excuse all the movement and the shit that I'm doing. But I will still say this because I need it. If you would like to donate to my research and the channel, the PayPal is in the description. It's also in the description of the channel. If you would like to participate in any of the studies that I'm doing, or if you want to give an interview on a specific topic that you've seen me talk about, whether it be on the channel or anonymous, there is always the anonymous option. Or if you have suggestions, if you want to participate on a specific show on the channel, whatever, hit me up in the email. It's the same thing, gammaauobsidian, gammaauobsidian at gmail.com. Same thing for the Instagram. Speaking of which, I'm not going to be using Instagram as much in the near future. I just did a test. Of Zoom, and it went pretty well. And I just don't like being edited. I don't like being edited. I don't like situations where stuff gets fucked with. Just generally speaking, I don't think anybody likes that. But that Bliss video, where an entire video with really good information got chunked, just got fucked. That was the last kind of straw for me. So, got Zoom. It seems like it's going to be a good option. It also seems like there's plenty of stuff, plenty of utilities on there that I can use, So, I see it as a good thing. I probably should have done this a long time ago, to be honest. I don't know. I still may come to do stuff on Instagram sometimes, and I'll still use it for whatever other stuff I use it for. And it's not. I'm not getting rid of it altogether. Which who gives a shit if I do or don't? But just wanted to give a heads up. I think it's going to be a good thing though, and I'm just as much saying that to myself as I am to you. So we'll see. Anyway, so I'm watching this movie called Sanctuary, right? And if I'm not mistaken, it's the dude from Game of Thrones. Very weird movie. It's like a corporate, what do you call this? BDSM? There's not really, okay, so there is sexual content in the movie, but it's not like 50 Shades of Grey, It's this dude, really quick. I'm not going to say the whole plot, but this dude is a CEO. He just inherited his company from his dad, who just died. He has a long going relationship with this. I'm going to call her an escort. I'm sure there's some kind of technical name for it since there's no contact or sex. Probably some other shit. At the very least, it's role playing. It's not sexual shit. It's role playing. He wrote out a script and everything. But within this, it's shame based. He's one of those rich people that likes to be shamed and made to do things that are, for most people, not pleasant. And as I'm watching this movie, I had this very random, kind of profound thought. Not saying it's true, not saying I believe it, not even saying that it's probable, but just for the sake of, I like wondering stuff. I like thinking about the potential of something or just thought experiment, What if this is that? Do you know what I mean? Let's say that this is, as I always say, a simulated experience, but it's just not as serious out there as it is in here. And I don't like that, you know. I'm conveying to you what the thought was, because I honestly, it wasn't a conscious thought. It was just, you know, allowing my brain to kind of go for a second. And essentially what the thought was, like, spiritually, I believe we are of the same level as this character is in the movie, monetarily or status wise. So, you know, money, I don't, money doesn't resonate with me in here, but it also just doesn't seem, I don't feel like it would be a thing, or at the very least, not nearly as important out there as it is within this experience. When I say out there, I'm referencing the fact that to me this is a simulation. You know, and if this is your first time watching a video of mine, there are many simulation videos that I have on the channel. You know, in fact, very recently I've talked about it quite a bit. But to me, this is a simulation. On the outside of this, I believe that there is, at the very least, another existence for us. Maybe not necessarily another body, but there are many, many theories that are being discussed and formulated and worked out right now, currently. And so my thought is, figuratively speaking, I think there's a potential for... I'm explaining why I think my brain just popped this idea out. I think that there's a potential for us to be like, not necessarily like a big deal, but like, we're bored, we're capable, we're ineffable, we're unmovable, you know, we have the capable to create anything, to experience anything, to do anything we want to do. And so this movie made me think to myself, what if this experience is essentially that chick just kind of beating the fuck out of you and making you kind of tortured and toil and, you know, essentially scrubbing the bottom of the barrel. And so what I'll say is, some of you that watch these may have a completely different outlook on this experience, and that's fine. Again, I'm not saying that I believe this or that I necessarily feel that this is the truth. I'm trying to let this entire thought out. I'm trying to get the entire thought experiment, you know, I'm trying to let it run its course. What if that is the case, though? You know, I like shit dark. I always have all these lights on because there's other beings here and shit, but I don't have to do that. But the lighting's bad, doing it one way, so I'm gonna, you know, it's hard to even put into words completely, because I don't know anything about that world. I don't know anything about BDSM or role play, or they have all these fucking acronyms and code words and all kinds of shit. I don't know anything about any of that shit. Doesn't interest me. I think it's fine. I was about to say something else, but that's offensive to them. It's weird. It is weird, though. You know, I think a lot of them would even admit that if they don't take themselves too serious. It is fucking weird. But no shame, though. Do whatever you want to do. Who gives a fuck? But within the guise of, like, just running different thought experiments on what this could potentially be, and trying to not shy away from things just because I don't like them, or you know, the concept doesn't resonate with me, I could see that potentially being the case. It doesn't resonate with me personally, because I can't imagine myself being that big of a tool to where I take myself so seriously that I need something else to beat me down and kind of level me out or make me feel beneath, you know? That seems like a very odd concept to me, but still, like I said, thought experiment. So this movie, Sanctuary, it's playing with the dynamics of a very well-off rich man who has 112 hotels that he owns and all this stuff. And this is a very, very common concept when it comes to well-off people. They are used to being in power. This is the explanation I've been given. They're used to having power all day long. So in their leisure time and in their private time, they want to be dominated, or they want to be made to feel like dirt or some shit. That has literally never made sense to me, but that's the explanation I'm given every time, you know, someone talks about this. And so I don't know how literally this idea just popped into my head. It wasn't like a conscientious thought. What up, commercial? It just popped into my head. And so the thought is like, what if your soul, so not this avatar, but your soul is that rich man, you know? So more so like, you know, power than rich. You know, you are that powerful being, and you're so used to being able to do any and everything that you want that you create this experience. This is kind of like Bliss, actually, now that I think about it. I have a video talking about this movie Bliss with Salma Hayek, who is ridiculously hot. But yeah, that's funny. It's funny that pops back into my head in that way. I don't like that. That makes me fucking feel kind of weird. Maybe it's just from watching that movie or whatever, but that's fucking goofy. But that's it. That is an interesting thought, though. Just the concept of like, oh, I'm so fucking bored of being able to do everything, you know, in a godly sense, in a deified sense, that you know, I don't like the calling it a video game necessarily. Simulation, virtual experience, whatever you want to call it. I just, you know, I could see that being a thing. I try to think about it as close to in here as it would be out there, you know? Maybe there are video games of this kind. Maybe there are virtual experiences. Maybe someone talked you into... Maybe you hate video games, but they talked you into getting into this one, and, you know, you've been in this for 5 minutes, but it feels like 30, you know? Not a very comfortable thought, but definitely not out of the realm of possibility. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. My brain just does shit like that. Thought experiments, constantly. I don't know. I just thought that was an interesting thought and wanted to put it down somewhere. I may flush that out. I don't know. Probably not. I feel like the Bliss video plus this little bit kind of fleshes that out enough. When I go back over all these fucking videos I have to go back over when I finally start writing this, that's gonna suck, you know? That's gonna suck. I feel like this will be enough, though. Between the Bliss video and this, I think that concept is pretty covered. What else? I think that I'm going to be watching Gaia. I'm not covering this Sanctuary, you know, movie. I think this is enough. I haven't finished it. I'm actually still watching it. I'm still watching it. I started making food, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck? This idea just popped into my head. Yeah, so soon there will be videos of better quality in a way. There's a trade-off. I think Instagram's kind of bit rate and there's like less lag, but there's more abilities, more utilities on Zoom, and it's a much more uniform, you know, app. I, you know, need to stop talking to you as if this is a business meeting. Anyway, I fucking am gonna watch Gaia unless something else pops into my head. And I'll either make that video I'll probably make that video tonight. I don't like waiting too long in between the thing and video. So anyway, yeah, I wanted to get that off. I appreciate you hearing me out later. Bye.